Welcome back, Super Geek friends. This is Chad.
This is Katelyn.
And what are we doing again?
We're going to the next town.
It's so difficult watching someone play Pokemon and not actually playing it and remember what the fuck we're doing.
Right?
Because literally, I'll just be off on like a whirlwind adventure tangent, and meanwhile, you're doing stuff still.
Right,
and
I'm
like,
actually being proactive.
every once in a while, I need to chime in and realize that we're playing a game.
Right.
I'm just talking.
Yeah, basically.
GG.
GG. Yeah, no,
I'll give you a house.
I mean, honestly, it's even hard.
Ghost.
It's hard for me to keep track because I listen to your story so that I can commentate back. So then I'm not really paying attention to what the fuck I'm doing half the time.
Pressing the start button on the timer.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
My one job.
And
I did it. Oh, shut up. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
Nope.
Have we talked about our camping trip yet?
I don't think so.
Was there anything of mentioning on it from our camping trip?
Michael was almost lit on fire.
Oh, your husband almost lit your brother on fire.
Yes.
And his excuse for that was, oh, moment lapse of judgment.
That sounds like Josh.
That's something you say when you almost catch someone's head on fire.
Oh, I have such a bad joke. Nope, I'm not gonna share that one.
Oh, that is bullshit. That's
My family watches this.
Bolshevik.
My family watches this.
Hi, Caitlin's family. Your daughter's a terrible person.
Just cover your ears for 2 seconds.
Don't cover your ears.
Please do so because this is a bad joke.
It's a bad joke.
Because
It's super bad. Lean directly into the mic as if you're telling it to their faces.
it's so bad, don't listen.
It's super bad. Okay, tell the joke. Shit.
So you
I
said-
want to hear about everything you've seen.
Oh shit. Okay, no, when I have a kid, he'll be like momentary lapse of judgment.
That's not a terrible joke. You seriously built that up for nothing.
It wasn't that joke! That's like a mistaken pregnancy
Mr. and
joke.
Mrs. Caitlin.
Mr. and Mrs. Katelyn. Fuck.
I had a momentary lapse of judgment. I can't mimic Josh because we've discovered he sounds like Tina from Bob's Burgers.
He
is
does.
the male version of Tina, which is played by a dude, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
But
The male version of Tina.
yeah, the male version of Tina. But whenever I mimic your brother,
It's
it's like Hiccup-ish.
it's like hiccup.
You
mixed with my
my head on fire. No worries. At least then my sister would notice me.
Oh my god!
I'd be a shining beacon of hope
Screw you.
for about a minute.
I forget my brother once.
One
Once.
time!
One time! And
I
this is
break
what
his
I did.
elbow one time!
It was actually twice.
I broke his elbow 2 times!
I was like fucking like 10 years old.
And it's even more impressive when you say that.
Oh, no, it's not.
Kaden was a beast even back then! I almost did a Hercule reference, but I'm like, no, we're past Dragon Ball Z. That was the last episode.
Get away from
the DB of Z's. Okay, I will say this one thing. Because I noticed it with the new Sailor Moon anime.
Yes.
That like the episodes look like shit, and then they go back and make them look better. God, I hope they do that for Dragon Ball Z Super or Dragon Ball Super or whatever the fuck it's called.
That's the
Because
hope.
holy shit, it looks like ass.
I know, that's what sucks about the anime and animation industry right now in Japan is like they get paid shit and then they have these ridiculous deadlines that they have to meet.
It's like, when did they adapt the American sense of like animation budget and timing and schedule? Like, when did that happen?
I mean, the anime schedule has been really ridiculous because there has to be new animes every season. Fall, spring, winter,
yeah, it's
summer.
ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. But I mean, even our American cartoons are starting to look better than anime.
Yeah, it's because
There's some anime that's still gorgeous,
well, and
but
then
the big ones aren't.
why? I mean, but then you have to look at like the shows and see that the style is obviously a lot more simplistic. It's not saying that it's not still a lot of work,
Right.
Because even the cartoons that I do or have done are very simple, but it's still a lot of work.
Right.
But anime is so complex. I mean, the Dragon Ball Z characters, they have like at least 3 to 4 layers of shading per frame. I mean, 'cause, oh my god, it
That's
is
just a
so
lot of
much
work.
work.
Like, even just, like, making my comic, it's not the same as animation, but having to draw the character over and over in a bunch of different poses all the time, it gets, like, tedious.
Like, literally, when I really was sitting down and animating something, I mean, if I wasn't doing it in Flash and using using tweening, if I was doing it frame by frame, literally, I could be there for a whole day and only have, like, 30 seconds to show for it, you know?
It's just, even with, like, a big team working on it or whatever. Like, it just... It's hard to keep up with the demand of, like, Japan in general. Just they need new anime all the time. They need it to look good, or at least to be quickly produced.
I feel like they're like, they have kind of like our attention span times 2.
Yeah.
Like in the worst direction.
Like worst attention span.
Yeah, worse, like, you know, our attention span is like every 5 seconds on a phone there's a new post. Theirs is just like...
Right, just like that.
But, I've been on an animation kick lately, specifically because when we're on break, Katelyn and I watch a lot of cartoons. Like, recently we watched the new Thundercats all the way through.
Which was great, and I'm so sad it was canceled.
It was great for the most part. There was still a couple of episodes in there that were like,
Right, but it was good enough that I feel it shouldn't have been canceled.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, there were some episodes that were obvious, like, okay, this is just to make another toy.
Exactly.
And what sucks
like
is
filler.
the toys didn't even sell well, and like, I think their scheduling was always fucked up. Like, there was so many reasons why that show failed, but it shouldn't have. It was just, I mean, Cartoon Network's really interesting. I feel like they're a lot more successful than Nickelodeon is, as far as like trying to create new original content.
Right.
Because I feel like Cartoon Network will actually take a chance on something, whereas Nickelodeon was just like, SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents, and Ninja Turtles, and Power Rangers, we're good.
Stick with the ones that make us money.
It's like, shit, guys, try something new. But,
I mean, yeah, even with Korra, that was hard to get that out.
Oh, that's ridiculous. But we just recently watched a fantastic cartoon series.
Yes.
A short cartoon series, 10 episodes, I believe.
Yes.
Over the Garden Wall.
I was thoroughly impressed.
Fucking fantastic.
Because, I mean, we were talking about it. I saw so many people post about it and are like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And I was like, all right, I'll watch it when I get to it. But
I'm so glad you recommended it, because I have not... I mean, when the first few episodes were really hard to get through, because you're like, oh, this is a Cartoon Network thing. And you're like, this is not a Cartoon Network thing.
Yeah, no, it got deep and dark. It was so good.
But once you kind of understood the, like... I'm not gonna spoil it, but I kind of guessed what I thought was the underlying story, and it's still up for interpretation, but I believe what I was thinking was still sort of right.
Yeah.
But once I kind of got my mind around that idea, it was a lot more enjoyable. I wasn't judging it for like this dark piece. I was judging it for just being a really well-crafted piece.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there's tons of foreshadowing. There's tons of build-up. And they built it up in the right ways. Like, I'm
like
so tired.
Little things.
Yeah, little things that equal a giant whole. Like, don't take that the wrong way.
No, I know.
It's so funny. We're like, normally we're talking, you and I talk like stupid bullshit most of the time, but we're never, for once we're having an actual conversation. It's amazing. Yeah, it's just a great cartoon. I mean, the characters were great.
The backgrounds were gorgeous.
Yeah, they look like they were painted like old school style.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, I was kind of hesitant on how the main two were designed in the beginning. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And
yeah,
then
there was
later...
a really stark contrast between the backgrounds and the characters, but in a way that's kind of what you want.
Yeah, it was nice, but it was more like I wasn't like sure how I felt about the character designs in general. Like, oh, okay, it's these two kids and one has a
teapot on his head. Yeah.
I'm like, this is just weird. Okay, but then like slowly I was like, oh, this is making sense.
It's almost like,
oh my gosh,
it's almost like they're so simplistic. There's like an innocence about them. Like their world, the world that they're surrounded in is much more complex than they are.
Totally.
And they're trying to adapt to the situation. That's just me, pulling strings. But oh man, it's just such a I want to see more shit like that. I really do.
I kind of want more. That's why I watch a lot of anime, because they get into the dark nitty gritty and they have like little things like that every once in a while. But I want more American cartoons like that too.
But you don't need to be entirely dark, right?
Right, you don't. But
that Over the Garden Wall was such a great balance of humor, wonder, and dark.
Yeah.
I don't like it when people are just like, oh, I need to go gritty. Like gritty has to be a thing, right? Yeah, it's like you can be dark and still tell a captivating story that's still enjoyable. Like, take for example, when I was in a film class, my instructor, and I'm sorry if I shared this story, and I don't know if I've shared this with you, but like, it was a really great exercise. But one of my film teachers was like, okay, close your eyes. I'm going to describe to you a movie. I'm not going to tell you the title of it. I'm just going to describe the events of like the first 5 minutes of the movie. Imagine a newly married couple move into a brand new house in a new neighborhood, and they decide to settle down and start having kids. Mm-hmm. imagine one night an intruder breaks into their home, murders the wife, kills most of the newborns, leaving one handicapped. And now the father must tend to not only his grief about his wife passing away, but the rest of his children and his only son who is now disabled. What movie am I talking about?
Hold on. Okay. Wife dies. Kids die. Handicapped kid. Is it Finding Nemo?
It's Finding Nemo.
Holy fuck!
So take that out of the context of fish.
Right.
In a Pixar movie, and that is one of the darkest freaking things that you could possibly have. But it was presented in a way that while it was still dramatic and it was still dark, it wasn't overly dark. It wasn't overly gritty.
Right.
It's all about presentation.
Right. It could still be like the adults appreciate the story, but it can still be seen by kids type of dark.
Yeah.
And it's like enough to evoke emotion, but it doesn't need to be like, holy fuck, I'm gonna go cry and like die for like 3 months.
And that's, Pixar has made amazing movies. I mean, the only ones, and this is just my opinion, but like the only ones that I really don't like are the Cars movies. I really don't get emotion from those movies. They don't really bring anything new to me personally, but as far as the rest of their lineup, I can watch them all the time.
Oh yeah.
All the time.
Same. I usually always cry at least once per like every Pixar movie. Except Cars.
Except Cars, exactly. Like, you don't need a cry to evoke emotion, but like literally there's no like deep, it's just a story, for me it's just like a story of someone who's lost their real intentions in life, like who they're supposed to actually be.
Right.
But, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I want more original stuff that doesn't have to be a full series. It can be like Over the Garden Wall, that's 10 episodes. And even that,
short.
That's to its benefit. Really, I mean, you wouldn't want that story to just continuously carry on.
Yeah, if that story went for like a full season, it would have been too long.
It would have been too much.
Like, it was just the right amount to get the story across, the point across, and enough to leave you uncomfortable on some episodes. Like, it just made you like, oh, I need to see the next episode. I gotta get to it.
I felt so bad because I was trying to watch them all with Katelyn.
That's alright.
And then when I was like I talked about in a previous episode, I was like editing nonstop. And I needed something in the background, so I was playing that. And then when I was waiting for things to finish rendering, like my attention went right to that.
Just bam.
Because it was bad. Because as soon as like a certain thing happened, like my eyes were glued until that shit was done.
Right. God, it was so good, and I loved if you guys don't know me, I really like creepy monster designs, and God, I loved the Beast.
The Beast was great. He had a great voice actor too.
Oh, that voice just made it for me. Like the silhouette was amazing, and the voice just like sold it.
And the fact that he sang too.
Yeah, it just made it
awesome.
Made it even better.
Are we fighting? Oh my god! I've literally not looked at the screen.
This is the
I've
fourth.
legitimately not looked at the screen since we started talking about cartoons.
Basically, this has been grinding, so it's not going to be fun for the viewers. Which is good that we were talking about something nice, because this is my 4th magic card.
Oh my god! I thought we were fighting the same magic card this whole time.
Like, look when I attack again. Look how low my PP of tackle is.
Pepe.
Look how low that is. I have gone through almost 35 tackles.
So are we keeping Kyreep?
Yeah, but I need him to learn electric moves.
Okay, cool.
So that's just gonna
So we
take
got a
a
water
while.
type, a flying type, and an electric type, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So far, so good.
Is this the last one?
Yes.
Okay, great. Fantastic.
Fan-freaking-tastic.
Fan-freaking-tastic. I really hope people enjoyed this episode, because, like, it's a nice break from not... I enjoy being zany and stupid most of the time, because it's my natural state.
Yeah, but it's fun. It's nice to talk about, like, other things.
Actual shit. Well, we'll talk about some shit next time on Super Geek Friends.
I'm gonna say hi to my Mareep, too. Or my Kareep. you Kareep.
You creep.